Good evening and welcome to the Africanadian Resource Center. Tonight we are coming to you from the Friends of Africa here at CASA Foundation downtown Toronto, and we're bringing you a post coverage of what took place this afternoon, which a pitch master where young people were, I guess not young people, but entrepreneurs were actually pitching their businesses as a part of the CASA Foundation, an event that took, Friends of Africa event that takes place every year. This year is the 10th anniversary, and before I even go back into like most of the details we have today, I want to speak to the winner of this pitch event that took place. So we have two of them that we are going to speak to right now. Welcome, guys.
Yeah, I'm Alexandra Sproul, and this is Oshimimi Mayaki, and we are the co-founders of Adobe Media, a company that produces podcasts telling stories that are often not heard because of colonialism or other systemic oppressions. And our first podcast is Money No Get Enemy, and it tells stories from really urgent, amazing stories from West African economic history.
Amazing. So obviously today, can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you now. Can you hear me?
Amazing.
Hear you. Please go ahead as well.
Awesome. I'm happy to join you. Let me just introduce myself. My name is Oshimimi Mayaki, or Mimi, and it's a pleasure to be here.
Thank you so much for joining us. So tell us about your partner was telling us about what your company is about. How was the experience today doing the pitch?
It's been really amazing for us. This is our first time publicly really speaking about the work that we've been doing. We've been working on this project for about a year, building it out, doing the research, building our network of historians and archaeologists and anthropologists in order to be able to tell these stories and give them the stage that we think that they deserve. So it's very exciting to pitch this in front of an audience that really understood the value of the work that we were doing and the type of impact that we're trying to create.
Amazing. And for me, I'm not a historian, but I love history. If you ask anybody that's around me, I'm like a junkie on history. So to see you not only just speech, but you won today, that shows you how important, or at least the judges decided that this is an important mark in history where we are interested in businesses that are actually more focused on uncovering history. How does that feel for you both as the founders and operators of the company?
Honestly, I sent Alex a text before this, and I said, I don't know if they will get it, but let's try, because I think for us, what was surprising is that it's not that this information isn't out there. They're in books, they're in papers, but so I have to wonder, why aren't these stories out in the volume that they could be? For us, it's been a lot of work gathering the data from the different sources, but the stories themselves are so inspiring that it keeps us going. So it's been a wonderful experience. Alex, do you have anything that you'd like to add to that?
It was so exciting to talk about the project and have people understand exactly what we're so excited about, which is how not only how interesting these stories are, but how much they can influence how we see the world today. So Mimi did the pitch, and she did an amazing job. And it was.
Sorry, go ahead. Go ahead. I just wanted to add one thing about the moment that we're in, and I think one thing that's been pushing us in this process is the fact that we see. We continue to have the same conversations around African economic empowerment, around how to ensure that as Africans, our civil rights are respected wherever we are in the world. And I think one thing that's really missing from that conversation is the historical context. Often we would see these kind of idealistic reframings of the African past, which is not the truth. There's nuance to it. And that's really important for us to bring forward. So it's really amazing that people can recognize that the stories are important, and it really re-emphasizes for us that there's a need.
All right, so Alex, welcome back. We apologize for the technical difficulties. I was just saying, where is your company going? Where are you looking to go in the next, let's say, 5 to 10 years?
Yeah, so we are releasing, I see Mimi's back. We're releasing our first full season of Money No Get Enemy, our first podcast in November. And in the next 2 years, we hope to grow to have 20 different shows on under Adobe Media. Do you want to take it from there, Mimi?
Yes, Alex is exactly right. That's our roadmap for the next 2 years, is to launch this, is to build our product portfolio of audio shows, as well as to start to look into other distribution channels, whether through video and animated videos.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing that one of the judges suggested at the pitch competition was that there is a big demand for this at educational institutions who are looking for this type of content to support their curriculum. So that's something we're definitely going to be following up on as well.
Amazing. I didn't want to let you all go, or we have a few people to talk to from the event. I just wanted to, where can people find you so they can actually follow up in the work that you're doing?
Sure.
You can check out the first 3 pilot episodes of the podcast Money No Get Enemy on Apple, Spotify, SoundCloud, Google Podcasts, anywhere you get your podcasts. And you can find our website, adobemedia.com, or find us on Twitter at Adobe Media. We'd love to connect.
Adobe.
So repeat that again. Adobe is
Odoba.
Thank you so much. So once again, congratulations, and we hope to see more of your work in the future. Appreciate it, Mimi and Alex.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Take care.
All right, so we are now gonna do an interview. We're actually right here in studio with the chair of the CASA Foundation, which is a non-for-profit here in Toronto. Before I even give you all of that, I would like to ask you himself, the chairman of the CASA himself, tell us your name and what you do.
Okay. My name is Olushola Oyelade. I'm a designer and architect and the chair of our CASA Foundation.
Okay. So Mr. Oyelade, you are doing, this is your 10th anniversary. You have been doing this for 10 years. I remember I was a part of this event about 3 years ago. And since then, I've been trying to follow as much as I can whenever I'm here. How has it been like for you for the last 10 years?
Well, it's been great. Every year it keeps advancing. The love that we have for the young people, for women, and for Africans in diaspora, and the urge that we always think back and say, okay, what can we really do to affect our countries and continents? That's actually what drives us into these engagements with our world here and Africa as a planet. We actually believe very strongly that Africa has got a very strong potential, and but it's not being realized because our people are not properly focused, or the narrative about Africa is not really properly understood out here in the West. So we want to bridge that gap. That's the reason why through the foundation, the Friends of Africa platform was created, and Friend of Africa platform has grown into different other platforms.
Yeah.
One of them is what we witnessed tonight, which is the Pitch Masters. We intend to bring to light that the 9 to 5, even though is good, but we need more people to be independent,
yes,
to come up with ideas that can shape the world and eventually shape Africa and bring our potentials out to the world
reality.
to see.
Yeah.
And you have seen and witnessed the remarkable work that these young people are doing, and the businesses the ideas that they have. These are really ideas that we need right now, solutions that can actually move the needle.
So obviously, you're talking about the work and involving young people and looking at how to move the African experience and reach our potential. One of the things we've done with our Rwandan Canadian Healing Center is to also try to bridge the gap around the African communities here in Toronto and across Canada. That's why we came up with this Africanadian Resource Center. And that's why we also here wanted to be able to cover this event with the CASA Foundation. Looking at the way our communities are run right now, what do you think is the challenge and how do we solve that? How do we work together like other communities? I always use the Jewish community, the Chinese and other communities. How do we get to that level of collaboration as a community?
Yeah, okay. So Canadians, when they think about Africa, it's like a unit. But actually to Africans, it's not a unit. You have different kinds of segmentations within the African community. I think the first thing is to forge unity amongst the African community, to know that we are all the same. And in a democracy, number is key. You know, when people come together as a force, they are more taken seriously than when Rwandans come and say Association of Rwandans, Association of Nigerians, Association of this. I think the first thing that we need to do is to find a way to bridge this gap and forge unity amongst the Africans. Once that is done, then we have a unified voice to present to the community out here in Canada. Then we can start to move the needle. We can start to create programs and processes that the Canadian government can recognize and support us.
Absolutely. I do agree with you, and it's one of the things that for me, when I became a part of the community, I was looking and I'm like, who do I work with? Who are the allies? And sometimes, of course they are sometimes, but you don't know where they are. And so for me, the idea was how do we find what's existing already? And that's how I even came to be part of the Friends of Africa. It was looking for those relationships. Maybe my last question, because again, we are running everything quicker right now, is last minute we're doing a post coverage. What are people looking forward to? I know the theme of the event this year was looking at development and the recovery from COVID. What should people look forward to tomorrow? And then, of course, for CASA Foundation for the next year and the years to come, what should people look forward to for your organization?
Well, as you know, the theme for this year is reigniting global trade. If you look at the welcome speech, you see that entrepreneurs, young people actually contribute close to 40 to 45% of the GDP of various nations. In Canada here, they contribute even up to 60% of the GDP. So COVID-19 has actually changed the protocol, the way we look at things. That's why this discussion is very, very, very good at this time, so that Africa will not be left behind. The interaction between nations is very key when it comes to trade. But trade is driven by productivity. So all these issues are issues that will be looked into thoroughly by experts tomorrow. I'm an architect. As you know, I'm in the building industry. And building industry is one of those industries that has legs in almost every area. So, and we can feel it in Canada right now, because most of the building materials that we use are affected actually by global trade. Many stuff that we use in building in Canada that do come from the US, right now we have shortage of them. So this is a very important area that we need to really sit down and discuss and formulate new processes, new ideas moving forward.
We could talk forever. I feel like every point you make, I want to have another question. Obviously, I've been accused of having so many questions, but I just want to thank you for having this platform.
Okay.
I want to thank you for the work you've done. We can all see the influence that you have with the Friends of Africa, and we look forward to it. So we wish you the best tomorrow. I'll be there. I'll continue to do the coverage. And lastly, maybe where do people go?
Yes, so I think that the best thing that you should do is to join the platform on Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram, and on we also have Zoom.
The Zoom, YouTube.
The Zoom, yes. So everybody that has registered, I think we've sent them a link, but if you just go on our website, casafoundation.ca, you'll get more information on the links.
Amazing. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Let's go to the commercial and we'll come back with more interviews.